Knowledge is given to you not to dissect your past but to construct your future. With chapters and chapters of failure and 19 years of mediocre living behind me, I listened to my friend Vijay Raghavan telling me, the harder you press the spring, the faster it will bounce back when you release it. So what if your life has been filled with failures for 19 years? Decide to bounce back now. Rewrite your script. It was my very first awakening, and ever since I have not looked back in life. There has been no need to. I am glad I didn't tell Vijay Raghavan. If only you had come into my life with this message 5 years ago. What is important is, at the point of knowledge, where are you looking? Are you looking at your past or are you looking at your future? I can either say, my English isn't good, or say, I want to make my English better. Stand on your today and look at your tomorrow, not at your yesterday. At the point of knowledge, don't look back, look ahead. People who use the language, if only, are fundamentally people who, at the point of knowledge, are looking at their past. You are awakened to build your future. Don't try in vain to renovate your past. No knowledge ever comes to you late. It comes to you when it has to come, when you are ready for it. The same message from Vijay Raghavan a few years earlier would have had no bearing on me. Never question existential timing. When Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi looks ahead, a Mahatma Gandhi happens. When Narendra looks ahead, a Swami Vivekanand happens. Our future is not equivalent to our past. The greatest motivation to look forward to our tomorrow is in the realization that our best is yet to come. With every piece of knowledge, with every new realization, with every profound awakening, let us progress to build our desired future. Knowledge is never given to you to dissect your past. It is given to you to construct your future. Look ahead. You never know what you may become. Somewhere in the future, the person you are going to become is already waiting for you. Go and meet the person you shall be. Quality is that invisible detail. I was shocked to see the celebrated speaker get out of his dirty car, so dirty that I would not have even touched it with the gloves on my left hand. The inside of the car was the closest I have seen to a garbage chute. The speaker was going to deliver a lecture on quality of life. I have seen disciples walking out of a spiritual satsang cleaning the dirt in their eyes, a confirmation that people who don't even care about the cleanliness of their bodies seek the cleansing of their souls. What ignorance! They don't even bath, but they want their lives to be bathed by the grace of their Guru. I have seen sales personnel with unshaven faces, unpolished shoes, badly worn ties, screaming their sales pitch on the world-class quality of their products and services. We ought to realize that quality begins on the inside and then works its way out. The quality of what we give depends on the quality of what we have. The quality of what we have depends on the quality of what we do. And the quality of what we do depends on the quality of what we are. Quality consciousness is expecting more from yourself than what anyone else expects of you. Quality consciousness is setting higher standards for yourself than what the world has set for you. Quality consciousness is the belief that everything can and must be improved. Quality is about not having a hole in your socks, no creaking doors, all the clocks in the house showing the same time, no torn upholstery, no dirty fans, no cobwebs on the wall, no leaking taps, the phone picked up within 5 rings, no surfaces with the paint peeling off, staff washroom so clean that one can actually lie down on the floor, door latches that work. Quality, the presence of which is seldom noticed, but the absence of which can never be missed. Quality is about detailed excellence in areas that others might not even notice. A flower is a flower, with or without the fragrance. Yet, the presence of the fragrance makes all the difference. Quality is that invisible detail, the presence of which makes all the difference. Everybody has an explanation for everything, and everybody wants to have the last word. My friend was convinced that I was wrong. She had an explanation as to why she thought so. I clarified to her as to why I had done what I had done. I had an explanation as to why I felt I was not wrong. She had an explanation as to why she thought my explanation did not justify my point. She explained further as to why I was still wrong. I explained how she had not taken my explanation in the right spirit. I explained further as to why I was still right. She was bent on proving me wrong, and I was bent on proving myself right. Both of us had enough explanations to substantiate our points of view. He sends an email criticizing me, and I reply to deny the accusation. He replies to substantiate his view, and I give an explanation as to why I don't agree to it. I have realized two things. Everybody has an explanation for everything, and more importantly, everybody wants to have the last word. Nathuram Godse had an explanation for having assassinated Mahatma Gandhi. Osama bin Laden has an explanation as to why he led the terrorist attack on the World Trade Center. Actors have their explanation as to why they think it's okay for them to smoke on screen. My wife has an explanation for having forgotten to add salt in the sambar, and I have my explanation as to why my anger is justified. Everybody has an explanation and everybody wants to have the last word. In fact, the realization that I have been trying to explain myself for everything and that I have been trying to have the last word all my life is indeed a little embarrassing, to say the least. I have told myself that on all the inconsequential issues of life, I will consciously allow the other person to have the last word and save myself a lot of time, energy, effort, and space. There is enormous freedom in curtailing this instinct of offering an explanation and letting the other have the last word. Of course, on all the inconsequential issues of life. Fortunately, more than 90% of all issues are inconsequential. Do you have a different point of view on this? You are entitled to it. I have nothing to say. You can have the last word. 10 minutes early means I can leave 10 years longer. There are two ways of catching a flight. If you have been flying regularly, then chances are you belong to this most common category. Getting stressed at the pace of traffic movement, driving the driver to drive a little faster, thinking of jumping signals, repeatedly glancing at your watch and rushing into the airport. In every queue, from baggage scanning to check into the security check, trying to jump the queue by explaining to everyone that you are running a little late for your flight. Walking a little faster to start with and then maybe even jogging to make it. A tense face, yet managing a smile for every attendant to make a case for yourself. Finally, you barely make it to the flight. The second way is to leave for the airport 10 minutes early. There are two ways that a morning can start in every home. The first way is to simulate World War III. Everyone is running, everyone delegates work to everyone else. The phone is ringing and everyone is hoping that someone else will pick it up. Someone's at the door and everyone is pretending not to have heard the doorbell. The school bus must have already turned round the corner of the road. Where is the lunch box? Here, take the water bottle. The school bag is not closed properly. Get into the bus and tie your shoelace. It looks like a rocket launch. 10, 9, 8, The other way is to wake up 10 minutes early. Urgency is the most dangerous of all addictions. It forces us to take decisions that we would rather not take. It forces us to act in ways that we would rather not. It cheats us by making us believe that the situation is at fault and not us. Urgency becomes an excuse for shoddy work and sloppy decision making. It creates an atmosphere in which we tend to justify everything we do, from jumping queues to running like fools to catch a flight. Difficult decisions are often good decisions. 10 minutes early will seem foolish to begin with, but it is the antidote to present-day neurosis. 10 minutes early is one of the big medicine for most stress-related issue today's man faces. 10 minutes early will ensure that you will not have time for an appointment with crisis. 10 minutes early means my heart can slow down by 10 counts so that I can live 10 years longer. Dreams are the gap between where you are and where you will be. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered a historic speech when he stated, "I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation when they will be not be judged by the color of their skin but by the content of their character. I have a dream today." With this faith, we will be able to walk together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to the jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. 4 decades later, the American nation did make history by electing their first Afro-American president in Barack Obama. What is very significant here is that this dream was not implanted into the social consciousness during the best of the times, but during the worst of the times, when the blacks did not even have voting rights. Dhirubhai Ambani dreamt of a digital India where the common man would have access to affordable means of information and communication, which would in turn help him overcome the handicaps of illiteracy and mobility. It did become a reality in India. What is significant here is that this dream was implanted into the mind of Reliance Intelligentsia in 1999 when basic communication channels were still quite dismal in India. With every product, service and commodity becoming more and more expensive, Ratan Tata dreamt of 1 lakh rupee car, and through Nano he turned his dream into reality. Mahatma Gandhi dreamt of a free India at a time when the country was already enslaved and in the clutches of foreign rulers for well over 3 centuries. At a time when India could not even build world-class aircrafts, a man popularly known as the Missile Man of India, APJ Abdul Kalam, dreamt. In the 3,000-year history of India, bearing 600 years, the country has been ruled by others. If you need development, the country should witness peace. And peace is ensured by strength. Missiles were developed to strengthen the country. India placed itself both in space and on the moon. Dream we must, that all of us know. What is significant here is that all these great dreamers process great dreams not just during the best of times, but even during the toughest of times, during very difficult times, during times when the collective social consciousness was not optimistic. Yet, dream they did, and on the sheer strength of their dreams, organizations, nations, and humanity as a whole stood up. Difficult times you may face, tough times you may encounter, but dream you must. Dreams are the gap between where you are and where you will be. Will I? Is never the question. Great dreams of great dreamers will always be fulfilled. Whatever the mind of a man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. God never gives you an idea without the power to achieve it. For a dreamer, the question is just, by when will I? What water can do, gasoline cannot. What copper can, gold cannot. The fragility of the ant enables it to move. The rigidity of the tree enables it to stay rooted. Everything and everybody has been designed with a proportion of uniqueness to serve a purpose. How can I be anyone other than me? Even if I have my share of weaknesses, why should I struggle to be someone else even if someone's strength appeal to me? I am here to be I.